back, everybody, here to our Tampa Bay Rays Out of the Park 27 long-term save, and we have made it to the 2031 All-Star break. We have swept the Mariners. We took 3 of 4 from the Yankees. We're off to a red-hot start in July, and the first thing that we're going to do today is make a trade. We're making a move. We're improving the team. We are almost double our wins to losses ratio right now. We might be the best team in the sport behind maybe the Brewers. We're damn good. We're trying to get better. So we have a trade ready to go. What we got here is we're going to send Emmanuel Hernandez, one of our top prospects, the 75th prospect in all of baseball. We like Emmanuel. We do. He's been in the system since day one of this save. He's just been around. He's been excellent at AAA this season. He's 23, and we worry about the control and home runs allowed if that'll actually develop. It's been a slow process. Let's just put it that way. But he has continued to improve. We just like other pitchers in our system more, and I think capitalizing on his value right now makes a ton of sense. Even if he does become a really solid starting pitcher. We're also going to send away a former 18th round pick, Nolan Hoover, 24-year-old with some potential really good movement on these 3 pitches. Grades out to be a likely reliever at the next level, also doing really good at AAA this season. And we're sending them to the Los Angeles Dodgers, a team that is selling right now as they are 49-48 and a game back of the wild card. But they're electing to, they have that rebuilding tag, so they're electing to blow it up rather than try and make a run. Very Dodgers-ian of them. But what we're doing is we're getting $4.5 million as well as Blake Mitchell, their starting catcher. He has been a 114 WRC plus guy for them this season. He can play kind of everywhere in the infield, a little bit of outfield even. But he's going to come in and be our starting catcher, high work ethic guy, 60 power, 55 eye. Been a dude. We love the under the hood look at his percentile rankings. Makes a ton of sense. A guy who's on arbitration, so this might not be just a one-year fixture. 10.5 an arb for next season. Definitely a candidate to be brought back, especially if he plays well for us. So Blake Mitchell. And then we're also getting one of their starting pitchers in Jack O'Connor. He helped them win a World Series in that 2029 season. Another very solid pitcher, ground ball guy. 4 pitches that are all good. Low control, but I feel like that's just kind of what we target. And he's been really solid this season, 87 FIP minus, 148 ERA plus. So we're trading away 2 prospects, getting back 2 guys who are immediately going on the 27-man roster. We're getting better, folks. We're buying. We're going all in this season. All right, and after that move, the decision we've made with the team, we have sent Peyton Paletti back down here to AAA. He was doing fine up in the majors, if we take a look. But it was just the move. He had option year left, so it just made the most sense for us. And then we waive and DFA'd Yainer Diaz. Another one of our free agent signings that just didn't work this season. I think I should say, because it's me making the decisions. Maybe I just overlooked the actual ratings and I just looked at the player. I don't know. 2 bad signings. Let's just put it that way. I did a poor job, but we're trying to revise it now. We're trying to get better. The team obviously hasn't been slowed down by it, so we can't be too upset about it. But let's take a look at the All-Star rosters. We do have a few players. Ikeson Henderson makes it his second All-Star game. His first came in 2030 with the Rockies before we went and acquired him. So Ikeson makes his second. Griffin Jacks, to no surprise, has made it once again his 6th All-Star game. I believe all 6 with the Rays? Yes. All 6 with us. He never did it for my Twinkies. Just a stud. Let's see if we have anyone else. Carson Williams makes it in his first year of his extension. He's continued to hit, and he's stealing a lot more bags this year. He led the league way back in 2028 when he had his almost 6-WAR season. And then the next season got the 30-30 year. Carson Williams, absolute stud, helping us be where we are currently. And then I think that'll be it for Tampa Bay Rays. If you want to take a look at the other players who are here, Al Herrera is not a name I'm too familiar with, but he makes it for the Cleveland Guardians. One of these 3-pitch guys, all 3 fastballs, but someone who makes it work, I guess. Harry Gustin, not familiar with, a 40-40 guy who's a dog for Cleveland. What the hell? What are they building over in Cleveland? What do they got going on? Dylan Dingler makes it as an all-star. He was another catcher we were potentially looking at. Seems to me he's getting unbelievably lucky this season with his bat because he's got a 131 WRC plus on pace for a 5 WAR, 27 home run season with these ratings. Kind of bizarre, but we're not trading for him, so we'll let them have that. In the National League, you take a look at who has made it here. Nothing too crazy. Diego Castro, I'm not too familiar with, another 3-pitch guy who is really damn good. So the Phillies love their 3-pitch pitchers. We just took one that they used to have in Christopher Sanchez, and now they have another one who's a dog. Shohei Ohtani still doing the damn thing. He's been hurt a lot. If you guys wanted an Ohtani update, he's been really hurt. But he does have 6 MVPs, so I think he'll walk his way into the Hall of Fame. Still pitching, just not at the highest level anymore. This game and two-way players they usually just struggle with, I think. But yeah, Joswar Gonzalez is at a 6 WAR already, and we are only at the All-Star break. So he is on, breaking that 10 WAR watch for the San Francisco Giants. We mentioned how good he was. I think he was the number 1 prospect for a time or two. Number 3 prospect looks like where he peaked at. Absolute freak. In terms of the prospect game, I believe we had... I thought we had someone. Yeah, we got the Meat Hook. The Meat Hook makes it. What a guy. 8 games at AA, or 10 games at AA, 12 innings, 17 Ks, 0 walks, 0 home runs allowed. Yeah. Is it Mariano Rivera? All right, let's settle down a little bit. But yeah, that's what that's looking like. We'll show you what happens in these fun events, and then see if we have any more trades up our sleeve here with our Tampa Bay Rays. And it feels like every single season the National League wins the All-Star game, and it happens once again with Josh Jackson. This star for the Diamondbacks wins the MVP. In case you're curious on how he is doing, just a freak. If Joswar Gonzalez didn't exist, I think he'd probably be competing for that MVP. Or maybe he is competing. I mean, how much does WAR really matter? I think it matters quite a bit. I like WAR as a stat. I'll say it. I think that's controversial nowadays. Maybe not. I like WAR as a stat. I like having a counting number. I don't know how we ended up here. Let's take a look at the All-Star game. In our American League, let's see if any of our guys did anything. I'm trying to remember who even made it for our lineup. It was Carson. Yeah, he went 2 for 3 with a ribby. He played short, which, okay. That's perfectly fine, though. We'll take that. Griffin Jacks came in for an inning, got a strikeout, no problem. And then we didn't see Henderson pitch for us at all. Doesn't really matter because the All-Star team loses once again for the American League. And then Home Run Derby was won by Kobe Mayo. He took down Spencer Torkelson. Kobe Mayo, by the way, signed on day 3 of the season. Why was this guy a free agent that long? He's out here spreading the mayo in the Home Run Derby. Please don't click off the video for me saying that. Kobe Mayo, good ball player. He wins the Home Run Derby. Let's. I don't know if another trade is coming for us. If we take a look just at the trade block, I need to update ours because I think Carson Williams is still here because we had him there last season. So let me not do that. But if we look at the trade block and we look at kind of the team that we have right now, I really feel solid about the pitching staff. I don't think we really need to make another change to it. I think it's the strength of the team. And we just added Jack O'Connor, so I feel really strong about that. And then if we look at the lineup, it has its weaknesses. But let's not forget that we are getting back Dylan Beavers here any day now. He is on a rehab assignment. We just sent him to it. So if you look at, Advincula's kind of the weakness right now. He's the DH and not really doing much. We have Dylan Beavers coming back. So, that's a problem that's solved. Brunson is hitting really well. Abel can continue to start at second for now. With Advincula just splitting time. We can do that. Or maybe, I mentioned in the last video, maybe we search a trade for Advincula. I feel like his value's got to still be pretty high. But I don't know what we would really want back in an Advincula trade. We did just get Blake Mitchell, so we kind of filled the catcher problem. Pete Alonso, Daniel Pierce, Malachi Washington, Chalowski. All these guys aren't really, easily replaceable in the lineup. So I don't really know if I see anything that's, staring at you in the face, like an obvious hole in the team other than, a fifth starter. Because Caminiti has really kind of slowed down since his good start. And, when you get to the playoffs, you don't need 5 starting pitchers. And, I like the way it looks for us. We have O'Connor, we have Eichson, we have Sanchez, we have Wheeler, we have, an opener to Michael Forret. We have a good-looking, 5, even 6 starters. So if you're trading Advincula, what are you really getting back in return? Are you getting back a reliever? So I think that an Advincula trade would be more advantageous to us come the offseason when there's a more obvious hole on the roster, especially with just how good Trey Abel has been. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of a later question. I don't know if another trade is coming for us. If we just look at the trade block, I don't know that any of these players are too fast. Obviously Kobe Mayo would be sick, but we have Pete Alonso, we have Dylan Beavers. I tried really hard to get Kyle Bradish to be that last starter, but the Mariners just were not budging, so that didn't happen. Kyle Tucker's here, which is always intriguing, but bad defense, fragile, is not really turned into as big of a dog as the Rockies were hoping for. Rafael is always intriguing with his elite glove, but 77 WRC plus coming into a lineup that needs a bat. Not really fun. Cam Smith I see down here. I don't think another trade's coming. So we'll kind of get to the deadline, and then you'll obviously see for sure what the plan is. But I'd expect what we have right now is what we have going into the rest of the season and into the playoffs, especially with the fact that we get Aaron Sheep back in a few weeks. That'll be huge. And then the bullpen becomes so good. So I feel pretty good about it. Let's get going. I'll let you guys know on any big trades that happen around the league as well that may or may not include our Tampa Bay Rays. All right, Dylan Beavers officially done with his rehab assignment. 4 games, tore the cover off the ball. We definitely want that back in the lineup, so we will add him right back in. He will move to first base with Pete Alonso DHing once again, and then versus lefties, nothing will change. If we take a look just quickly around the league, we have a few days left. Former home run leader Rodney Green, at least I thought he led the league. Yeah, in his first year he led the league, 42 homers. Big bopper on the move to the Chicago Cubs. Really only the big trade. There hasn't been anything too crazy, but a few days left, so we'll see what happens. All right, we have made it to August 1st. No crazy moves. We just won here on the final day of July, on the day of the deadline. Nothing too crazy occurred. We didn't make any moves. There wasn't anything big around the league. We kind of, split these series at the end, but we'll finish the month of July with a 17-9 record, our best attempt yet. We're 20-10 in one-run games, which is a whole hell of a lot better than it was just a season ago. So, and 11-3 in extra inning games, or 2 seasons ago, I should say. I'm still scarred by that a little bit. But we're a damn good ball club. We want to take a quick look around the league as well as players of the month, and then we'll get through July here. The New York Yankees have a stud catcher here in Rogelio Lopez. 60 power, 60 eye. Was the 37th prospect in baseball. They essentially just made right-handed Ben Rice So, yeah, the Yankees not like paying for a bunch of stud players, but they're developing. They're developing them. Rogelio Lopez, an absolute stud for them. And then in terms of the young men, another young guy, another 21-year-old, and Ed Wakefield, the 23rd prospect in baseball, is a major reason as to why the Milwaukee Brewers are as good as they are. He's got a 1.2 OPS through his first 30 games in the bigs. I assume he's just DHing, I hope. No, he's playing right field, which is terrifying. So, but he's a freak, such a stud, Aussie. Ed Wakefield, absolute dog. He wins Player of the Month. Griffin Jacks for our Rays gets his second Pitcher of the Month award of the season, looking to go and get his fourth Reliever of the Year at age 37. So happy we got to keep this guy around, and he's just been so good. He's become one of my favorite players I've had in this save and in any save, to be honest. This is what he should have been for my Twins. Anyway, what a dog. Really fun. Then we see the best pitcher in the National League goes to Cameron Kashak. All right. For the Miami Marlins, really good player this year at least. Rookie of the Month goes Rogelio in the AL and Wakefield in the NL, so nothing crazy. We had a few minor awards for, A-ball, Corey Krivda, 11th round pick, balling out at high A. Why don't we get the kid up to double? Anyway, let's take a quick look around the league, and then I will start simming our way through August. We still lead the American League East by 6.5 games over the Red Sox. The Orioles still kind of in the mix, but it's us and the Red Sox in the AL East. The AL, kind of like real life right now, very top-heavy, or not very top-heavy, but like very mid, I should put it that way. I don't know why I said top-heavy. It's mid, other than us and the Red Sox, kind of like in real life where it's the Rays and the Yankees. I might be dating myself in this recording. This is coming out in like a month. Ignore that. All right, the White Sox lead the AL Central. I'm surprised the Twins aren't up here because they had a really nice roster, and they've been pretty consistently in the postseason. They have Brian Nelson, they have Von Lackey, Cam Culpepper, J-Rod's still here, McClanahan. But, you need 27, not just 5. So, Tigers are in. The Rangers look to be really good. We need the Astros to miss the playoffs because I am so scarred. Yeah, we need them to miss. They have John Gonzalez looking to win his back-to-back MVP. We do see Carson Williams inch into this WAR leader category. We took a look at the pitchers. Sean Youngerman, still a dog for Cleveland. Alan Reyes, still doing it for Boston. And it looks like they finally figured out that they should just make him a starter full-time. And it's working really well. So, good job by the Red Sox for finally putting 2 and 2 together. Still McClanahan on an insane pace with these strikeouts. Pushing for 300. I know it's a stretch, but he could do it. Very, very likely for him to lead the league in Ks for a third straight year and lead the league in WAR. We'll see if he can win his third straight Cy Young. I could see it. I could definitely see it. And then in the National League, there's just the big dogs are laying in waiting to just tear the head off whoever gets out of the American League. It feels like the Nationals and Mets dueling for the division. Both teams already at 70 wins. The Brewers sit in the Central 73 wins. Some of the Cardinals are kind of uncompetitive, which was really baffling to me. And then the Giants are they're the lackluster team, and they have the same record as us. So the National League is really freaking good. Torkelson and Soto lead the league in homers, turning back the clock a little bit. We mentioned Josué Gonzalez being an absolute dog, 6 WAR already, but Josh Jackson has been excellent as well. But the Diamondbacks continue to absolutely stink. Yoshinobu Yamamoto still leading the league in ERA, been a dog. Chase Burns still here in strikeouts. Steve Bowers, kind of the usual suspects. Mike Tyler, actually, the wins above replacement leader, former first-round pick here for the LA Dodgers. Wasn't the guy they were trying to trade, I'll tell you that much. But very good baseball player. Yeah, that's kind of what the league's looking like. We are, sitting at 67 and 39. Our bats are getting going quite a bit now. We're up to we're not seeing as many double digits. The only thing that's double digits is home runs and strikeouts. but we're into 5th and 6th in a lot of these categories. While pitching has steadily improved over the year and has steadily maintained as our strength, our defense has gotten better, pretty much due to Trey Abel being the starting second baseman. He plays really good defense, and he's raking. So, yeah, that is the way things look as we head into August. We'll see how things look come September and the September call-ups, and then I'll update you guys as things come along. But let's go win like 100 games. Let's get into the postseason once again, and let's avenge our goddamn loss from one season ago. And on our 4th day of August, Blake Mitchell is this latissimus Dorsey, whatever the hell it is, the back strain, and our new guy through 10 games, raking, tearing the cover off the ball, and we get to shut him down. Just despise injuries. But what are you going to do? Luckily, Yiner is still on the team. But we do have Gene Simmons here, who's, doing terrible at AAA. So I'm gonna just give. We also have Connor Wong. Okay, if my girlfriend's watching, she's going to be extremely happy. I'm going to call up Connor Wong because I think that he will accept a demotion, and I don't want to have to release Yiner Diaz a second time. I'm going to call up Connor Wong, and he will be our backup catcher to Mike Plummer for the next 2 weeks. All right, everybody, we have made it to September 1st, which means we have made it to the roster expansion. The guys that we've called up are 2 guys who have not seen the big league club yet. Brian Blanton, who was on the spring roster, had a 136 WRC plus at AAA. He will be up for the remainder of the season, as well as one of our top prospects, Roberto Montoya, also raking at AAA. He will see some time in the majors, try to see what these two can have, see what they can do for our big league club. One thing that did happen right on the last day, Griffin Jacks had this nagging back tightness injury, so we're just going to stow him on the IL for the next 2 weeks. Definitely not ideal, but what are you going to do? Griffin Jacks shut down for a little bit. But in a positive update, Aaron Sheet is back, and he will be back in the back end of our bullpen. I've been saying back quite a bit. So that's that. In terms of things not going so well, Jack O'Connor has come over to the Tampa Bay Rays and forgotten that he is a pitcher and he does it professionally. He's been really bad, really, really bad. 2.2 home runs allowed, not good. So we are trying him out as a follower, and that has been going pretty well. The Fit Minus doesn't love him, but the 182 ERA plus we're fine with. So hopefully he can figure it out. In terms of the guy we traded away, Emmanuel Hernandez is up for the Dodgers, and he is playing unbelievably poorly. So it's feeling like a bit of a lose-lose as of right now, but we have Blake Mitchell, who has continued to hit for us, and that's what the trade was centered around, so we don't feel too bad. In terms of what the team is looking like, we're 85-49. We got off to a bit of a slow start in August. I wouldn't call it slow, but we won 2 series here, so we're like, all right, perfect. And then a disastrous series in Colorado where we get swept, give up 11, 10, and 8 runs. No good. And then we parlayed that into losing a series to Seattle. 2 teams that aren't very good, by the way. Well, I guess the Rockies at the time were like 2 games below 500 and now kind of rode this momentum of the sweep into being second in the NL West with a 69-64 record. But at the time, they were 59-50. Okay, maybe they weren't as bad as I thought they were. But it felt like a series that we should at least take a game of. We haven't been swept often. And then we lose the series to Seattle. Then we sweep the Athletics, take 3 of 4 from Baltimore, sweep Toronto, sweep Baltimore, and then lose 2 of 3 from Detroit. But it turned out to be one of our best months yet, once again going 18-10, similar to what we did back in May. If we take a look, the lineup is really starting to get going. We are top in baseball in a lot of different categories here. If we take a look at that hot lineup, Trey Abel has really been an absolute stud for us. I wish that, maybe he should have been starting the whole year because he could have been in some uncomfortable talks Pace for a 5.5 WAR. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying, but he should win like a Silver Slugger. He's been that good. 830 OPS. Absolutely love what he has been able to provide for this offense. Chase Brunson also has just continued to be a guy and has been really solid here in the month of July. A 173 WRC plus, or in August, I apologize. 152 WRC plus, back-to-back months where he just tore the cover off the baseball. Carson Williams continues to be elite. There's really no other way to say it. He's been that dude. August wasn't his best month, but it didn't need to be. A lot of other guys picked him up. He still hit for power, so no problem. And then Pete Alonso had an awesome month. It was highlighted. See if I can find it here. I think it was this game versus Baltimore, 8-21, where he went 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and hit a walk-off grand slam in that game. So Pete Alonso, 1, hates his former teams. 2, has been an absolute stud. Dylan Beaver's off to a bit of a slow return, so hopefully he can turn that around, as August was not his friend. So hopefully he can get settled back in and get things back to where they need to be. Malachi Washington also had a big bounce back month. His WRC plus up to about a 117. August was very kind to him, a 141 WRC plus. Hopefully he can keep that going. The lineup's really damn good. There's no way around it. Yves Arquette has been awesome as the backup, hitting 300 off the bench. Like we got to find a role for him. Like I don't know where he plays in the postseason, but just a dude. I don't know if Beavers continues to struggle. Maybe Alonso at first, he DHs. I don't know. That's a month out. Pitching staff wise, it's been a little come and go. But Ikeson Henderson has been an absolute stud, and I mean stud. If we take a look at what he did in the month of August, it was dominant. 6 starts at 2.1 ERA. The per nine's absolutely incredible. Every start he made, it was like 7 innings, 8 strikeouts. It was beautiful. He hasn't had a start. I mean, he had this Baltimore game where he went inning and a third. He must have left with an injury. But all these starts are like he's going deep into games no matter what. And he's good. He's quite good. So we feel really good about that. But the starters definitely slowed down here in the month, which has me a little worried, a little kind of wishing that we made another move for a starting pitcher. But I feel good about Ikeson. I feel good about Chris Sanchez, who's dealing with some injuries right now. But I feel pretty good about him. I think he's going to be okay. It's just the Wheeler, Caminiti, O'Connor, Ford of it all that I'm not sure how exactly we're going to manage it. So it just comes down to doing it right come the postseason. We love our bullpen. We know that is the strength of the team. I think that last year we kind of had a longer hook on our pitchers because they were playing so great in the starting rotation. And I think that we just got to maybe shorten that hook and allow the bullpen to really be the meat and bones for our team come the big ones in October, assuming we make it. I mean, it would take a pretty substantial collapse. We'd have to pretty much lose out to not make it in the American League this season. So, obviously knock on wood with me saying in the playoffs or like prepping for that. But I think we can safely assume that we have a pretty good shot at it. Quick look around the league. You can just look around. We kind of just did this. So not much has changed. The Astros are now leading the West. So we need to pray that they don't make the postseason. Come on, Rangers. Fight back, please. The White Sox continue to lead the Central. I mean, look how good the Brewers are. Look how good the Mets and Nats are. Giants are running away with things in the West, as are we in the AL East. But let's get healthy a little bit with our two of our better pitchers. Obviously, we need Griffin Jack's back. And let's get to the end of the season. In just a few days here into September, we had a small injury again. Here's Zach Wheeler, dead arm, so he is going to go to the IL for the next couple weeks, which means we're going to see the debut of Isaiah Frazier, our 13th round pick. Back in 2027, he got his home runs allowed up to 50, which means, in my eyes, I view him as a guy who can now provide for you. Definitely someone high work ethic that we are 100% going to be hammering in the development lab this offseason, because I think that he can definitely be a starter for us next season, and we kind of need cheap starters. So we'll see how he does in his cup of coffee here in the big leagues. We'll turn his hook down Yeah, there we go. Isaiah Frazier up with the team for Zach Wheeler just for a little bit. And in Isaiah Frazier's first start, didn't go well. He went 4 innings, gave up 4 earned. In his defense, we were playing the Mets, but he immediately messed up his shoulder. So it was a fun 10-year for Isaiah Frazier on the roster. We'll probably call up Gabe Davis now since he has still an option available where Cade Cavalli does not. So Gabe Davis back on the big league roster, and I'm going to honestly just let him be the opener here because Ben Joyce has not been good in that role. And then we'll figure it out. The pitching has been a little funky. Jack O'Connor did just have another really good follower outing, back-to-back good ones. Walking a ton still, but he's honing it in. Still sub-2 ERA, 98 FIP minus. So it's working. It's just now we don't have another starter. Maybe Fournette goes back to it, but again, he's kind of been really, really good in this role. So he is the follower. That is a plan in the postseason. I just got to figure out who the opener for him is. There's a lot going on. So we'll get it sorted. And here on this date, we have clinched a playoff berth. We will be back in the postseason for sixth time out of 7 years covering this or rebuilding. Not really rebuilding. They're good in real life. So as manager and GM of the Rays, we are back in the postseason for the 6th time. Massive for the program. And on a day where we destroy the Boston Red Sox 15-2, we have clinched the AL East throne once again. This time for the 4th time, and now we are a win away from clinching 100 wins on this day or on this day. All right. I don't know what that just spawned in my brain. But Griffin Jacks will be back in the next few days. We'll probably bring him back before this Yankees series. But 15-run day. It should also be noted that Pete Alonso is tearing the absolute cover off of the baseball. Another 2-home-run day. I want to point out that he's been hit 11 home runs here in September, hit 10 in August. So watch out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the finale of the regular season, and our Tampa Bay Rays have clinched a 100-win season, getting up to 103 wins. We finished September taking 2 or 3 from the Yankees and then beating the Phillies. Finished 17-9, very consistent each month of the season. We just take a look, our Pythagorean, 6 below our normal, but 97-win Pythag is perfectly fine. We were excellent in extra inning games. Hopefully we can keep that rolling into the postseason. If we take a look at what we were good at, the lineup was up and down throughout the season. They were hot and cold, but ended up right here, 5th in runs scored, 1st in WAR, 3rd in OPS, 2nd in slugging, 3rd in OPS, things you want to be good at. 2nd in extra base hits, 2nd in home runs is where we ended up. I believe we were 10th in it at some point this season, so to finish tied for 2nd is very incredible. We walk a ton and we steal a ton. All of these feel like a recipe for a good team. Pitching-wise, we have the number 1 defense in the American League, best ZR and best efficiency. We 2nd least home runs allowed, best in opponent's average, best in hits allowed, best in runs allowed, best bullpen, and best ERA. It's a damn good team. There isn't a way around it. If we take a look at just the guys that got us there, we'll first look at the lineup. Trey Abel was an absolute superstar stud for us. 793 OPS in 130 games. Racked up 5 WAR, playing a very high-level defense at second base for us. Was the leadoff guy. Took the role from Advinculo when Advinculo was struggling and then got moved to the bench. And then got hurt, and he just never looked back. We have a leadoff guy, and he's great at it. Trey Abel, absolute stud. Carson Williams in his first year back with the team. Well, not back with the team. First year on his new extension. We paid the man, and he is paying us back with another excellent season. 24 homers, 43 bags, a 781 OPS, which brought him to a 118 WRC+. which is his second best of his career. Puts up a 5-WAR season. Great. Excellent. We know how good he has been in the postseason for us, or at least last year he carried us. So we're excited for him to keep this going into the playoffs. Pete Alonso had an unbelievable run in the second half of the season. If we take a look here in August and September, hit 21 homers, clubbed another one in October. So 22 home runs in the final, 55 games of the season, which led him to be the home run champion, which was unexpected to me when I saw that award pop up, or that the accomplishment or achievement or whatever. Pete Alonso ended up being a really nice contract for us, I think. Obviously, more money than I think we were willing to pay, but he earned it in his 2 seasons with us, hitting 70 homers or whatever it was with the Rays, 61 home runs, 135 WRC plus. Really happy with the way Pete Alonso has turned out for us. Now hopefully he can do this in the postseason. Chase Brunson followed up a red-hot end of 2031 with another very solid season, an 827 OPS in 109 games. Helped him put up a 3-WAR campaign with a 134 WRC plus. A lot to like about it. A guy who is still very cheap and on the league minimum, and a guy who will be back in the lineup next season. Love to see it. Malachi Washington, a year off his extension that we gave him, and he's looking worth every penny. 2 home runs shy of the 30-30 season, but a 114 WRC plus, playing a very high-level defense, puts him with a 4.5-WAR season. A lot to love about Malachi Washington. Excellent year for him. And then we see Dylan Beavers, who had a slow second half of the season but was red hot, and the underlying numbers tell a different story than the overarching numbers do. A guy who is going to be expensive next season, so it'll depend on how he plays in the postseason for us to see where he ends up. If we took a look at his splits, September was not in August, really, when he was dealing with the injury. Back-to-back 56 WRC pluses. So we'll see what happens with Dylan Beavers if he is the starter in the postseason. We still really like him and his bat, but it matters how you're playing right now, especially going into the postseason. But that's a later issue to deal with. Daniel Pierce, another year in left field, 130 games. Didn't have the season or the campaign he had a year ago, but he's just been consistent and solid. Not his best, but still 14 homers, stole a ton of bags this year, 44 of them, and a 102 WRC plus. Another guy do a raise in arbitration, so we'll see what we end up doing there. Very likely to get paid by us. Another fine season by Daniel Pierce. Rock Chalowski clubbed his most home runs in a season, but his bat wasn't as good as it was a season ago. But luckily, he has one of the best gloves at shortstop, a 16 ZR at short. Absolutely incredible. If he doesn't get the gold glove, I'm going to be pretty pissed off because he was more than deserving of it. 95 WRC plus, but the glove brings him to a 4.2 WAR season. His money goes up to $13 million going into 2033. So we'll see. I expect him to be the shortstop. So, yeah. Blake Mitchell we brought in from the Dodgers, and he played fairly well. Not as good as the Dodgers, but an 8 overall difference in the WRC plus department. That's whatever. Obviously, with stealing turned up a little bit in this save. I am a big fan of his 70 arm, so hopefully that can be useful come the postseason. We're really happy with the way he played, and he's a guy who's due arbitration, so there's a chance that he is back as the starting catcher next season. In terms of the rotation, Ikeson Henderson was the ace of this clan and had maybe his best year yet, at least best year with the Tampa Bay Rays. Really good per nines, 3.16 ERA, led baseball in wins, 3.8 WAR. A lot to like about the way Ikeson performed, and he is a known postseason performer. Got in one game in 29 for St. Louis and was excellent, and then obviously in his 2 starts a season ago was unhittable. So we are pumped up for him to be our game 1 starter. Zach Wheeler, old man Zach Wheeler, 42 years old. We traded for him in the offseason. We gave up Herman Vazquez, who is at AAA for the Phils. has been worth it. Almost a 1.5 WAR season, very solid. Obviously not going to be striking out dudes anymore, but a lot to like about the way he played for us. Was really consistent. 3.27 ERA. We'll take every day of the week for a 42-year-old starting pitcher. Excited to see what he can bring us here in the postseason. See what else he has left in the tank. Has been really poor for Philly in this save in the postseason, so hopefully he can find something different with us. In terms of our other former Philly starting pitcher, Christopher Sanchez ended up doing just fine for us. Not as good as he was with San Diego, but the per nine's kind of grayed out to be eerily similar. ERA plus in the same spot. Fit minus just didn't love him as much, but still a guy who's not going to walk a ton of guys, get you outs, and he can go long into games. A guy that we're trusting in the postseason to be one of those starters for us. Had 3 really good campaigns for Philly, and then the last time didn't go as well. But three good outings in the postseason with the Phils. We're excited to see what he can do. And then Hunter Cranton became the opener for a little bit with us. He was the waiver claim who ended up not having the season that we expected him to continue. But we were moving him around. Maybe that messed with him a little bit. But as a starter, he was excellent. So in 4 starts, he was really, really good. So likely to see in the postseason Hunter Cranton as an opener for Michael Forret, who ended up putting together a really solid campaign. 3.36 ERA, 9K per 9, good per 9 just in general, 118 ERA plus and a 95 fit minus. Good under the hood numbers. If we take a look at how he did just as a reliever and a follower, it's incredible. It's 1.5 WAR. It's a 155 ERA plus. So those 5 starts really dampened a lot of his counting numbers and whatnot. But we expect him to be one of the guys following Hunter Cranton in the postseason. Jack O'Connor also kind of closed his year out as a follower as well, and he was really, really, really good in that role. 8K per 9, 2 walks, and 0.6 home run per 9, a 1.58 ERA in 15 appearances for us. So we're excited to see him try and continue that maybe in the postseason. Obviously, we go 4 starters, so maybe, if Eichson or Zach only goes 5 innings, then we go to O'Connor for 2 and then build out the rest of the bullpen, something like that. But someone we definitely trust and we're excited about. And then if we look at just the bullpen now, Sam Henches, another very solid season as our lefty guy in the back end. Well, maybe not the back end, but in the bullpen in general. Not striking out a ton, but he's getting outs for us. Another really solid year for a guy who's cheap, 2.3 mil. Very good chance he is brought back for yet another go at it for us. Put a 0.9 WAR. Braden Fisher was one of those guys that we went out and acquired in the offseason in a trade with Juan Garcia, who's done pretty much nothing for the White Sox. 3 really, really high-level pitches, strikes out a ton of guys, walks a ton of guys, and that's what he did for us, 11.7 K per 9, put up a 74 fit minus, something that we really are happy with, and almost 1 WAR accumulated. A lot to like there. Ben Joyce kind of had an up-and-down season. I think we maybe just messed things up a little bit with him starting. Actually, not really. He was solid as a starter. Just a rocky season for Ben Joyce, and we do have that team option next year, so we can kind of figure out what to do there. He got hit hard, but a lot of the underlying numbers say he wasn't that bad. Bit of a walk issue, got hit a little hard. That's what happens when you throw 3 fastballs. You're a power pitcher. You can get hit for power right back. But still a guy who's been here for a while with us, and I think has been decent in the bullpen. He was excellent a year ago in the postseason, and then in 27 was excellent as well for us. So a guy that we're still going to trust here in October. Carter Rustad was a guy who I don't think was on the big league roster at the start of the season. I think I'm right when I say that. Yeah, he was down in Durham, came up pretty quickly for us, and never lost his role. 10K per 9. I mean, he was just excellent. He was really good. Bounced back from a bad season last year. Really good. 0.9 WAR again for one of our relievers, making just $2 million. A lot to like about the way Carter Rustad played for us. If we choose to, if a guy's tired and we want to go instead of Cranton to Forret, it'll likely be Rustad to O'Connor, and that would be the look that we give if we do a different opener. He wasn't as good as a starter, so maybe it would be someone different, but that's an option that we will have. Ronnie Henrique is another guy who didn't make the team on opening day, and how foolish was that? He was utterly dominant, a 1.49 ERA in 48 and a third innings. Excellent per nines with a 77 FIP minus. A lot to really, really like about the way Ronnie Henriquez has played for us. Let's just not overthink it next year. He's going to be a guy that is due for a extension, and it's extremely cheap. So Ronnie Henriquez, expect him to be on the team next year. And expect him to be a guy that we rely upon here in the postseason. Miguel Cime Jr. was a guy that we acquired for Bubba Chandler in the offseason. Chandler, who bounced back and had a really big year for Washington, put up 3.5 WAR as a starter. So good for him. But we also got an absolute stud in the back end of our bullpen. He was lights out, a 1.3 ERA, put up 2 WAR as a reliever. The under-the-hood numbers look absolutely incredible. Uber reliable, a guy that we are definitely going to see a lot of in this postseason. Again, the bullpen's the strength. We're going to see a lot of it. It's even better than it was a year ago. And Miguel Cime Jr. is a big part of that. Another big part of that is Aaron Sheet, a guy who is excellent. I wish we just got a full season out of him. He did miss those 6 weeks or whatever. But a guy that we are absolutely infatuated with, extremely good. A 2.41 ERA, elite per nines, 1.64 ERA plus with a 58 FIP minus, 1.1 WAR, all while missing, how much? Like 3 months with a hamstring strain. So that's how good he was, while missing half the season. So imagine him with a full season. And then our darling angel, the closer, Griffin Jacks, 2.44 ERA, another year of 35 saves, excellent per nines and excellent FIP minus, and WAR. Another great year for Griffin Jacks. If he would have stayed fully healthy, I would expect him in the running for the reliever of the year, but probably won't see it. Now, if we take a look at some of the guys who are out, Cam Caminiti, threw him on the IL because it doesn't look like he'll make the playoff roster, but he was perfectly fine as a starter. I worry about that 40 home runs allowed, especially in the postseason, and we can only run out 4 starters. So expect Caminiti to not be on the playoff roster, but someone who was a very serviceable 5th starter for us, who we traded Rentel for, who turned in a 2 WAR season as the closer for the Blue Jays. Okie dokie. Let's move past that. And then who else was up with the team who didn't make the playoff roster? I know Brian Blanton was 69 WRC plus, nothing crazy. We sent Montoya down at some point, 7 games, 18 WRC plus, so he was off to a slow start. But yeah, that's what the ball club is looking like. That's how it went here in 2032. Really, really like this team again. I really want us to go compete. But let's take a quick look around the league before I get out of your guys' hair today. We obviously win the American League East. Only one team joining us in the postseason this year, and that will be the Boston Red Sox. The Central finds 2 teams in the postseason with the White Sox and Tigers, as well as the American League West. The Rangers win the division, but the Astros sneak in at 82 and 80. Let's all cross our fingers and hope we don't see them. In the National League East, the powerhouse Mets win 104 games, where the Nationals win 100, so the Mets won that race. Then the Brewers win 106 games, the most in all of baseball, and take the Central. The Cardinals missed the playoffs after their buying. Bizarre to me. Steve Bowers, Chris Himes, this lineup misses the postseason. Wow. I mean, their bullpen sucked. The rest of their starters weren't good enough. Insane to me. They had the 2 leaders in home runs. Yeah, all right. The Giants won the NL West, and the Rockies miss out on the playoffs as well, with the Braves getting in. League leaders John Gonzalez had an even better season this year. Hit 366. Must have been absolutely lights out down the stretch here. Yeah, September 243 WRC plus, 260 WRC plus in August. Oh my God. This guy's a freak. 8.8 WAR, a 211 WRC plus. Think he's going to win the MVP. Really big year from Roman Anthony, but it does not matter. Alan Reyes ended up winning the ERA crown, so they finally figured out his role, and he goes and does that. McClanahan only got to 251 strikeouts. I mean, I shouldn't say only. Another freak season for him. It'll be interesting to see how he does come the award season, if he can win his 3rd straight Cy Young. In the National League, Josue Gonzalez gets the batting title with Josh Jackson right here with him. It'll be interesting to see how this goes come MVP voting season because they were both excellent. Do you give it to the batting title guy with the most WAR? Do you give it to Josh Jackson, a 34-homer season, also hit 330? It'll be interesting to see what the committee does. They had the same WAR, so who knows? Yoshinobu Yamamoto finished .01 away from a sub-2 ERA season. Seems like he should probably win the Cy Young just for that. No massive standouts other than him. Furutani was excellent, as we kind of expected him to be. Save leaders, Devin Williams saved 46 games for Milwaukee. He's back there, so that's cool to see. Duvall and Ortiz. And then over here we have Christian Fauch. The Red Sox are no slouch, and I did not mean for that to rhyme. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. That's what the league is looking like. Our Rays, good to roll here for the postseason. We'll take a look, and we will play the winner of the Astros versus Red Sox. So either way, we're either facing the team that reverse swept us a year ago or our division rival, a very good Boston Red Sox team. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm excited to dive into the 2032 playoffs. And as always, go Rays.